What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily horoscope for Monday, October 11th, 2021. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Thank you so much for being here with me. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you're doing so well. Truly appreciate you all so much. Let's take a look at the horoscope today. What what is in what is in the sky for us today? We're gonna have that sun at 18 degrees. That makes a 9. It's go time. Look at that. The moon's day with a Mars number. I think a lot of today is about this kind of like this progression energy of like how much you've related to yourself and how to take that energy to the next level to find harmony in your life. And, really there's some nice aspects. Venus is working on a really nice sextile over to Saturn, who just stationed direct last night, 7:17 p.m. on the West Coast. And this is taking relationships into the future. This is taking connections to the next level. Like there's so much beautiful energy that wants to move forward and go into this great expanse and look into the horizon. But it's not all about the beliefs too. We also want to be in the fact and be in the now to make these great decisions about what the future can look like on an individual basis by really doing what you feel called to, really doing what you feel like is on sort of like the mission journey. I feel like that's kind of where things are going. So there's definitely some good energy building today. The moon is going to come into Capricorn. So I think we can, there's an essence of today where it's like, gosh, it's kind of a two-part day. It starts off the morning in Sagittarius, especially on the East Coast of the United States, and then comes into Capricorn. But this Capricorn energy with this moon is definitely trying to give us the can do and the stability. It's nice to get a little earth in the chart. It kind of brings some practicality into how we're relating, into how we're feeling, and like what we're working towards. But I feel like there's a sense too where we can be really hard on ourselves today. We can be like, oh, I'm not doing enough. And then Venus is kind of approaching the sextile to Saturn, like, gosh, did I do the right things for myself financially? Did I do the right things in my physical world? Like, yeah, you know what? This is a great time to give yourself a pat on the back and be like, yeah, I made it this far. What's good? So definitely a kind of like action oriented Monday. We want to move towards the direction of our dedication. We want to move towards, the mystical aspect of ourself. Capricorn's the mystical sea goat. Like, this is where you got to remember how mystical and magical you are and how, vast the horizon can be as long as you're relating in your most authentic self. And the sun's going to start working on a quincunx over to Neptune here, and that's gonna start to play in towards this evening and over the next couple days. Definitely powerful for getting this message, but it's also kind of can be a little confusing too. Can be a little foggy. We're trying to weigh out a lot of things. We have a Mercury retrograde that's getting ready to make the quincunx to Uranus today too. I mean, we're re-evaluating so many aspects of our relationships, and we don't just want to believe that they're going to be the right thing. We kind of want to like make sure they're the right thing, but the only thing that's really going to know that is our intuition, especially with Venus and Sagittarius. You gotta trust your intuitive knowing about the people who are in your life, or the relationships to your job, everything. And that's where the insight is, and that's where the genius is at, and that's where you're going to be like, oh my gosh, yes, or oh my gosh, no. And this is where I think today's one of those days where you just really want to move towards the oh my gosh, yes, and just kick your week off with that energy, because this week has a lot of that. And if you start your week off with that and kind of dedicate to that authority to find beauty and balance in your life and to relate with that, I think that today's like bringing it. And we're also starting to see the sun trine Jupiter retrograde, which is going to station direct on Sunday. So we're at this like very slow Jupiter here. It's getting ready. Jupiter's hitting the brakes big time. It's going, nada. 1 minute, 17 seconds a day. And Saturn's direct too. So we're starting to see a lot of where this society and this Aquarian sort of energy is taking us. And are you kind of like willing to expand from within for your creative insights of what's really going to bring that justice and beauty into your life? And today's like, go for it. Like, go do those things. Go make it happen. Because if you make it happen, you're really going to see the beauty show up in your life. And you're going to see so much of the understanding and the dots connecting, even with a sort of weird quincunx from Mercury retrograde to to Uranus, we're coming off a Mercury Cazimi. We're almost to, this is the final week of Mercury retrograde. Like the message is just within you. It's not so much without right now. Like you kind of already know what your truth and justification is. And this is where you got to like remember like your individuality of that, and own it. And that's where you're going to start to see sort of like these next layers start to unfold and unravel in ways that you may have never could have expected, but you have to kind of hold your truth and your justice on a day like this, and be strong in that. So there's a level of being strong and dedicated, and definitely not, trying your best to get out of anything that makes you feel down or kind of restricted. Because I think really the energy of today is like, gosh, if you start doing things a little differently, there are some serious gifts out there just on the horizon waiting to find you. And they could absolutely be within people and connections. I think this is a huge week for relationships. And maybe that's showing up on this Monday. Card for the day is the Nine of Swords in reverse. Yeah, this is where I feel like we're waking up from a bad dream. It's almost like we've been like, gosh, it was intense last week. This week has an intensity, but it has an uplifting area to it, because it's like we're kind of freed from some of the aspects that were holding us back or keeping us in an anxious place. And I think this Monday is where you can really dedicate to that new version of how you relate to yourself, and realize that this is where you can create a really beautiful dream. But you gotta know your worth, know your value, and really know your soul in these times. And if you can trust that, you won't be deluded or, manipulated anywhere, because you're going to hold the justification of what's going to make you feel the best, and what's going to help you with whatever it is that you want and that you're trying to relate with and attract into your life. So I like that card. This is we're almost waking up from a bad dream, although the outer world could still have that sort of bad dream look to it. But if you're not feeling like it's a bad dream within you, and you're feeling empowered and strong and ready to make things happen, that dream's done. And this is where you can create the most beautiful dream you wanted. I love you all very much. I hope you have a beautiful Monday, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.